Welcome back to another reading and correcting with me, Kindar, the Tiger Writes, and Ty, the Tiger Supervisor. These are where I read a chapter from one of my stories and correct it as I go. If you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch and YouTube. And if you are looking to support me, that is on my Patreon. Today, we are doing chapter 83 of The World, which is retrieving my bow is going to be a problem. When it landed, it seemed to be far enough from the creatures. It would just. It would just have been a question of walking, walking to it, and picking it up. I lost track of it after that, in us getting across the pit and it being too small to distinguish among the other lines that made up the floor. Also, must have lost track of the creatures while we rested, because now that I'm close enough, that I'm close, that now that I can make out my bow, they are over it, batting it around between them. It's silly, but I can't shake the image of a herd of cat playing hockey with it. Not for the fact we need to go through them anyway, I suspect Ellen would advocate for me to letting them have it. Without my bow, I equip my sword and shield. This is going to put me closer to them than I'd like, but it gotta get done. Hopefully Helen has something with more precision to it than her fireballs. I nod to Silver and she plays. When the explosion happens, I run towards the creatures. I get more definition from the line as I approach, and their shape feel more canine than feline. Also, there's 8 of them, and they're about the size of the warg that nearly killed me. Try really hard to remember that now. To remember I'm now level 12, and that the noob I was, and not the noob I was then. But I did win even then. I don't stop at the halfway point. I keep charging. My sword bites into flesh when the swing connects, so that's good. It It shakes, and the motion sends me off my feet. Not so good. I bring my shield up, and it mindlessly snaps at it as I get to a crouch and stab it. I'm on my feet, a burst of heat telling me Ellen's killing some. Then, when I'm reminded, it's only the 2 of us against them. One of them bites my ankle and yanks me off my feet. An eighth of my or so of my health is gone. I sit, grab, and it stab, and it lets go. The other bites my shield arm and throws me away. Another eighth, maybe? And a broken arm debuff. I'm on my feet, shield arm dangling against 2 of them. Really, wish my dodge was higher, because each hit I score costs me health. Get clear, Ellen yells, and I wish it was that easy. They aren't dumb animals. Anytime I move in one direction, they both move to intercept me, one in front and one behind. To take advantage of my back. The best I manage to keep them both at my flanks, which is only marginally better as we whittle each other down. I think they have more health than I do, each, and I can't tell how close to death they might be. Well, I'm close enough to half of it gone. I'm close enough to half of it gone. My grit strike ability kicks in. There's no coma here. I hope I remember how it works, because I'm going to need every damage bonus I can get. I put it behind the slash, and my stamina flashes as some of it vanish. I connect, and short of pulling up my combat log and comparing the damage against everything before, which is going to get me dead quick, I can't know if it did any good. The other one takes another bite of my health. Damn it, Dennis! I can't hit them safely with you there. I'm trying, I yell back. Only thing I have going for me is that the lower my health is, the higher the bonus to the damage I do gets. This is why Brandon lets himself get hit so much. He also has a bunch of other abilities that help him keep him there instead of this killing him. I so can't wait for my second wind ability to be accessible. I slash and stab one then the other, and my health keeps dropping, as does my stamina, which each grit strike I make. When one of the creature falls and doesn't get up, the relief nearly gets me killed. I'm on my back, the other growling as I crawl away, and it follows. The forward ball that consumes it shaves off more of my health, but at least it's over. I force myself to my feet. Like hell, I'm taking for granted this is over. There, we're in a dungeon. Monster could jump out of the walls to finish us for all I know. I'm down to what? The last tenth of my health? Below that? And not one skill level? That's not fair. I should get something for nearly dying here. I start falling. Then someone's holding me up. Easy there, Silver whispers. Fuck, I want those lines gone so I can look her in the look at her face. She helps me to the wall and eases me down. Feels like I was here only minutes ago. She chuckles. You kind of were, but back there. Right. You know what? Fuck it. I kiss her. I almost pull away because she stiffens, but she grabs my head and won't let me as she kisses me back. Man, this is good. It takes someone clearing her throat for me to even consider ending it, and Ellen doing it a second time with more insistence before we break apart. Glaring at the hint of Ellen through the contour line isn't the same as doing it to her face. I don't think now is the time to make out, she says. She clearly hasn't heard some of the stories I have about the people going in the dungeon north of court. But now that the adrenaline's dropping and the blood's flowing back into the rest of my body, the pain's settling in. Fuck, I hurt. I down a healing potion, go for the corpse, see what's left behind that we can use. I'll help as soon as I've healed enough to move. Stay there, lover boy, she replies. I can handle looting bodies. I am so glad this kind of sight doesn't come with heat vision. Sorry, I whispered to Silver. I don't know what came over me. Oh, that is such a lie. I have no complaints, she whispers back. When my health stops moving, it's barely at the halfway point. Ellen hands me a healing potion. The dungeon has to want people to make it deeper because those wolves each have a healing potion. I drink it and take the other two she hands me. Maybe it considers anyone who survives a fight worthy of continuing? Silver offers. Ellen shrugs. Dennis, have you considered what we're going to do for sleep? We've been here for hours, and you, at the very least, are going to need actual rest at some point if you keep getting into fights. I don't think we can head outside for it. I pull on every thread of memory from listening to people talk about dungeon raids they've been on or have heard about. I think that us being in slows the regeneration of the creatures. If we leave, we'd have to fight some to get back here. Would the trap reset? Silver asks, and I shrug. I don't recall anyone going into detail about how those works. I figure we continue as far as we can, then look for a defensible position. One of us stands guard while the other two sleep. Our attacks while we sleep something we have to really worry about? Ellen asks. You want to risk not waking from your sleep at all? I counter, then get to my feet. Let's keep going. I pick up my bow. And let's be more careful about traps. When we stop for dinner, we can see about finding a place to sleep. My entire body's stiff as we get moving, but I stretch as we go, and by the time we find the next batch of wolves, I'm ready for them. And that concludes chapter 83 of The World Witches. If you are enjoying this, please leave a like. If you want to know when the next chapter will be up, subscribe and hit the bell. If you want to read this story, it is up for free on Royal Road. If you want to read ahead of that and support me in the process, that is on my Patreon, where we are about 10 chapters ahead. And if you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch and YouTube. Links are in the notes. And with that, I shall wish you a good day.